Hey, this is C&D Channel. I'm Chris. This is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing my predictions for World Series of Fighting 7. Karakhanyan versus Palmer, which happens on December 7th. Main card is on NBC Sports Network. Overall, I'm interested in the main event. I want to see Elvis Mutapcic fight. I hope Nick Newell beats Sabah Fadai. I've seen some really unsportsmanlike conduct from Sabah Fadai before. Prelims don't interest me. I don't know anything about the guys on prelims. I'm just going to make very random picks there, to be honest with you. Overall, I can't say I'm totally impressed with this card. Main event is pretty good. Co-main, not too bad. Nick Newell's fighting, that's pretty cool. That's all I can really say about it. So let's get started. Georgi Karakhanyan fights Lance Palmer for the inaugural World Series of Fighting featherweight title. Well, Lance Palmer has a 7-0 undefeated record, 3 wins by submission, 4 wins by decision. 25 years old, training at a Team Alpha Male. He's a strong wrestler. He's got some good top control, and his stand-up is improving. What alpha male isn't under Dwayne Bang Ludwig? Georgi Karakhanyan, 22-3 record with 1 draw, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 12 wins by sub. He's 28 years old on an 8-fight win streak, training out of Millennium MMA with the likes of Saeed Awad and Lawrence Larkin. He has some really solid Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He will fight off his back, go for triangles and whatnot. Got a good guillotine as well. His stand-up is also pretty solid. He's training with some pretty good heavy hitters as well. One thing I'll say, Lance Palmer is actually a top prospect, not signed to the UFC yet. However, when I saw his last fight against Jared Demonized Downing, he didn't look that great. Also, his fight against the Jiu-Jitsu ace, I forgot his name, barely, I think he got a split decision on him as well. His stand-up still needs some work, and his wrestling's solid. I think Downing did manage to take him down. I'm not too sure, but for the most part, he did show good takedown defense and good offensive takedown ability. However, Karakhanyan is way too experienced. I think he beats him up on the feet, and Karakhanyan's ground game is very good as well. I'll go Georgi Karakhanyan to win this one. Next fight with that, Elvis Mutapcic fights Jesse Taylor. Oh, Jesse Taylor, you might remember him from The Ultimate Fighter. He broke the window in the limousine. 26-9 record, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 14 wins by sub. Out of his 9 losses, 8 of them are by submission. 31 years old on a 6-fight win streak, training at a Team Quest. He is a strong wrestler with good top control. With Elvis, 13-2 record, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 6 wins by sub. He's 27 years old on a 5-fight win streak. I believe he fought, Sam Alvey in his last fight in MFC. Very solid fighter, good stand-up, good grappling ability as well. I think that Elvis will be the younger and a little bit more well-rounded fighter. I'll go with Elvis Mutapcic to win that one. Next fight after that, Sabah Fadai fights Nick Newell. Said this earlier, but Fadai 7-2 record with 1 no contest, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 7 wins by sub. So he is a finisher. 3 wins by sub. 20 years old. And he's got good stand-up, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've seen more than one time where he's had unsportsmanlike conduct. I believe in MFC, he beat his opponent who was overweight, and after the fight, he kept getting in his face, about making weight. I think that there are other instances with him as well where he's shown some pretty unsportsmanlike conduct. And just quite honestly looked like a jerk. Nick Newell, though, 10-0, undefeated record, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 7 wins by sub, 27 years old, training out of ATT. Only one of his fights went past the first round. He's got some strong wrestling, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, some strong leg locks, actually, and his stand-up is improving. Nick Newell, obviously, he has half of an arm, but what's cool is it makes, like, a hook. So, like, when he gets a takedown, especially against a cage, I mean, he can still use the arm that doesn't have, like, a hand and part of the arm and get some real penetration with his takedowns. I mean, he really wraps his, like, arms and that hook around the guy's leg, and it's pretty much unstoppable. It's kind of funny. You'd think, like, that lack of an arm would be a hindrance, but he's made it work for leg locks. You know, you can't pry that hook off, or even for a rear naked choke, you can't pry it off. It's not there to pry off. So it's actually pretty cool seeing him fight because he made having no arm work because he has a bit of an arm there that he uses very effectively to grab hold of people. And his stand-up is really improving. If this guy had a full arm, he'd be like he'd be really, he's a really good fighter as it is, actually. Without one arm, he's a really good fighter. Or he's a good fighter. He's solid. His stand-up's actually not that bad. He has a good head kick game now. So that's pretty good. But of course, his bread and butter is in his wrestling. But yeah, I'm always fond of watching Nick Newell fight. One arm or not, he is a good fighter, you know. And I gotta go to Nick Newell to win this one. Hey, next fight after that, Dwayne Lewis fights Kalib Starnes. Kalib Starnes is notorious, and he still gets flack for it today for pretty much going against Nate the Rock Quarry in a fight in Canada and in the UFC, and pretty much like running. I mean, literally running. And everyone says like, you're pulling a Kalib Starnes means that like you're running in the fight. Starnes has a 15-8 record with 1 draw, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 9 wins by sub. He has 3 losses by KO or TKO, 2 losses by sub, 38 years old, on a 3-fight win streak. Dwayne Lewis, 13-8 record, 7 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He also has 3 losses by KO or TKO. Remember him fighting the likes of Wilson Govea, Ryan Jimmo, not winning those. You know, he had good stand-up. His ground wasn't too bad either. I think he's younger as well. I gotta go with Dwayne Lewis to win that one. Okay, on to the prelims. I know you can watch the prelims on various sites as well. Quite honestly, not totally impressed with them. I don't see many great prospects on here. A lot of guys look like local guys. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I did next to no research on a lot of these guys. So for all these, I'm gonna just be guessing. Shawn Albrecht fights Josh McCann. Albrecht has a 9-5 record, 8 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. He has 2 losses by sub on a 2-fight win streak. Some solid stand-up. It looks like, judging that he has 8 wins by KO or TKO. He is a finisher. Josh McCann, 11-4 record, 1 win by TKO, 10 wins by sub. So you got one guy who has 10 submission wins versus one guy with 8, whose majority of the wins is submissions, and the other guy, whose majority of wins are by KO or TKO. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO, 2 losses by sub. 26 years old on a 4-fight win streak. Also a finisher. He's never been to decision and never been past the second round. I'll go with Josh McCann to win that one. And next right after that, Richard Arsenault fights Michael Hill. Arsenault has a 9-2 record. 2 wins by KO or TKO, 6 wins by sub, 36 years old. Michael Hill, 5-2 record. 3 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by decision. He's 26 years old on a 2-fight losing streak. I'm usually not the guy who picks guys on losing streaks, but he's the younger fighter by 10 years. I'll go with the younger Michael Hill to win that one. I don't know anything about these guys. So, Matt Baker fights David Perron. Perron has a 5-2 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. Also has 1 loss by KO, 1 loss by sub, 32 years old. He's a finisher who's never been to decision. Matt Baker, 9-4 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 4 wins by sub. Also has 4 losses by sub, so he's pretty much a finisher. I mean, only 1 fight of his has been to decision. He's 29 years old. I'll go with Matt Baker to win that one. Next fight of that, Myles Merola fights Dan Ring. Merola has a 10-7 record, 2 wins by KO or TKO, 4 wins by sub. Has 5 losses by submission. And he's only won 2 of his last 7 fights. Dan Ring, 5-1 record with 1 draw, 1 win by sub, 4 wins by decision. I'll go with Dan Ring to win that one. And finally, Micah Brakefield fights Brendan Kornberger. Brakefield has a 3-1 record, 2 wins by sub, 1 submission win by strikes. He's a finisher. He's never been to decision. He's never been past the second round. Brendan Kornberger, 3-0 undefeated record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by decision. I'll go with the undefeated guy, Brendan Kornberger. So that's it for my predictions for World Series of Fighting 7. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And that's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.